Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday morning. So, a few days ago, I did a video just letting you guys know about a potential Cold War. My concern is that this may turn into a hot war sooner than we think. All right? And I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you what's going on in the world. Now, y'all know where the economy is, okay? And like I said the other day, war is our business and business is good, all right? It's the mantra of defense contractors who are big supporters of both parties, everything. The other thing about war is, especially for the United States, and for those of you guys in other countries, maybe you know this better than we do, maybe you don't know it at all, either way. The mantra, the idea to salvage an economy, at least for the U.S., is, gee, another country goes to war, and then we swoop in with dollars and help them rebuild, and forever they're indebted to us to pay back that money. And of course, the money is just printed. We know that. So this is what I'm talking about, where war will not be good for anybody, including the U.S., because inevitably we have troops there. So anybody who has service age kids goes into what is purely a political war at this point. Okay. Plus, the rest of us as citizens, let alone as preppers, get to deal with the fallout back home of higher prices, shortages, restrictions, you name it, okay? Pick something. I mean, I've mentioned many times, go back to World War II and look at ration cards and things like that you had. Now, I'm also going to say this, and this is not party specific. This is politicians, both sides, everywhere, all right? Like I said the other day, like I just said earlier, defense contractors miraculously contribute about even money to both parties. Make up your freaking mind, okay? No, they want to have both parties in the bag. And guess what? They do. And I'm going to give you 3 examples of what is going on today. All right. First off, going to war with China. Oh, that'll never happen, most people say, right? Well, you have 2 senators, both Republicans, Rick Scott from Florida and Guy Reschenthaler from Pennsylvania, have presented to Congress the Taiwan Invasion Protection or Prevention Act, okay, which is pre-authorizing war with China. Now, you guys all know that the way it's supposed to work is that Congress is the one that declares war. I mean, we can go all the way back to Harry Truman. We can go with Korea. We can go with Vietnam. We can go with Iraq, anything like that. Congress doesn't do this. The president just declares it and puts it some sort of bullshit of, it's a police action or something like this. It doesn't say it's a war. What's the freaking difference? But, so now Congress is trying to pre-authorize war with China, giving the president, whoever it would be, saying, we've already authorized this. As soon as you say go, we can just go. All right. But these are comments, and I'm not going to disagree with the first one. But Rick Scott said, it's no secret that General Secretary Xi is bent on world domination. The United States cannot sit back and let this happen. I'll agree. However, I don't think we need to be the aggressor. You know me every time in your personal life, in world affairs, whatever. My answer is don't start a fight, finish it. Okay, that's it. All right. Reschenthaler says, the Taiwan Invasion Protection Act empowers and strengthens Taiwan by authorizing the president to use military force to defend Taiwan against a direct attack. Now, mind you this, guys. Taiwan is not a U.S. territory. Yes, we have a lot of U.S. territories in the Pacific. Taiwan is not one of them. All right. We do not have any obligation, technically, to go in and go to full-scale war or whatever if something happens to Taiwan. I'm just saying, we have a mutual assistance treaty, but not a let's blow up the world treaty over it. All right. So this is the first thing. So Congress is trying to give Biden authorization to literally preemptively attack China. Okay? Last time I checked, the U.S. has never started a war. Okay? At least in modern history. So we go further and talk about what's going on with Ukraine, okay, with Belarus, with the whole thing there. You know, everybody's on edge. The Russians are saying we're not going on into Ukraine, but all of Europe, all of Ukraine and everything like that and Ukraine's flip-flopped on this, which makes it very interesting, okay? Ukraine saying, oh, we're not seeing anything of Russia threatening to attack, and then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, Russia's going to attack. So they're playing for financial reasons as well. But then you get Lukashenko out of Belarus, who's a complete whack job, as is anyway, okay, saying that the U.S. is trying to start a war with Belarus, you know, because we're putting armaments in Germany, in Poland, wherever. Those are NATO allies, okay? Yes, we have, just like Russia has a complete right to move troops and equipment around Russia, the United States has a complete right, at the request of the host country, to move troops and weapons around NATO allies, okay? So again, both sides of the fence. But even Lukashenko said, Europe doesn't want war. Who needs war? The U.S. wants it, and again, for the same reasons I said before. We destroy the whole continent, and hey, let us come help you with money to rebuild, and we'll loan it to you, and you can pay it back to us over the next century. Now, where does this get worrisome? Well, Russia apparently is taking notice because yesterday, at least it came out yesterday, Russia has taken all of their nuclear submarines in the Pacific Fleet and put them in a state of combat readiness and put them on alert. Okay? So all their nuclear submarines are in the water for all intents and purposes. Now, Pacific Fleet, all right, what are we talking about then? Well, that would be an issue between China and Taiwan. So now Russia's involved there. Obviously, Russia's involved in Europe, so you've got two fronts that side again. You know, we all know how well two-front wars go. Ask Germany about that in World War II. Okay, you get spread too thin, you lose real fast, and your country is destroyed. But God forbid, let's make sure that we don't leave it to just the European theater and the Pacific theater. Like I've said many times, the U.S. is getting involved in the civil war in Ethiopia, in Africa. Maybe I was wrong. It wasn't going to be between Israel and Iran. Maybe it's Ethiopia, all right? Now, mind you, Ethiopia has a democratically elected government. The U.S. just doesn't like it, okay? Just like what's going on in Venezuela, you know, Maduro's elected. We don't like it. This is not, again, nation building, economic recovery is not to be done at the cost of the local population. All right? But that seems to be the U.S. government's policy. How does it affect us as preppers? That's the big thing. All right? And again, like I said, you look at ration cards, you look at shortages, you look at draft age people. Gee, isn't it amazing how we just recently have been talking about drafting women? Okay, why would that be? Gee, why would we even have to discuss the draft? What's coming up? Economically, for us, war is going to be a disaster. Politicians don't see that because they live in this bubble, all right? They don't worry about the cost of food. They don't worry about the cost of gas. Their answer to everything is just print more money, okay? You and I can't do that at the kitchen table and just print more money. But they can. When they print money, what happens to us? We wind up paying more at the pump, paying more at the grocery store, paying more for, you name it, utilities. Look what's going on in northern England right now. They just got whacked with a massive snowstorm, 80,000 people without power, okay? Gee, it's too windy out. We can't fix the power lines. That's literally the answer that's coming out of northern England. Okay. We're going to be on our own, guys. In a war situation, forget it, all right? A month ago or something like that, I told you what the rations were in regards to food and everything like that during World War II. And it was silly. What was it? You got a stick of butter a month or something like that. I mean, 4 ounces of oatmeal, or I don't remember the specifics on it. I mean, at that point I had gone through. But you are going to absolutely be completely responsible for yourself. No question, no nothing else. No food. Who knows about power, okay? Forget gasoline and diesel fuel, okay? Because diesel fuel would all be going to any sort of war efforts, all right? Ammunition, forget it, okay? And all this will do is ripen the United States for invasion itself. Now that's down the road, but don't think that anything is going to be, Ethiopia, okay, little scenario. Europe, big. Pacific Theater, big. What happens when Korea's attacked? Because Korea would be on one side, China on the other. Japan, Australia, whatever. This isn't going to be settled on just one little island of Taiwan. That's not going to happen. The Chinese will go after everything. There's no question about that. How are you going to be prepared for no food, no power, or restricted power? You know damn well there'll be blackouts, okay? And whether or not they're because we don't have the material, the raw materials to generate electricity, or whether it's like Europe, you don't have the lights on because you don't want to make it easier for planes or whatever it is to bomb you. Yes, granted, I understand you have missiles and everything like that, okay, but in nuclear war, who cares? I mean, it's like that and mutual assured destruction. This is getting scary, guys. With the incompetence that we have on both sides in Washington, they're panicked, and their only solution for getting us out of this economic disaster that we are in and to placate their donors is, gee, we need a war somewhere. Because damn well the defense contractors are bitching, going, well, you shut down Afghanistan and we've been making money off of that for 20 years. We need something else to make money on now. Okay? Think I'm kidding? I'm not. War is inevitable. That's the scary part. How big? Nobody knows. But the actions of politicians right now are putting your life and my life and everyone we love at risk. We need to be vigilant. We need to be prepared, because chaos is going to ensue for all those who aren't prepped. You think they want depopulation? War's good for that. Okay? Just go back and look how many people died, like I said the other day, in Russia, in China during World War II, in Germany. Okay, when you're talking tens of millions of people per country. Okay, what did I say? Now you could take, if you took the same scale, same percentage, now you'd be talking about a couple of billion people eliminated from the earth if we did this again. Gee, I know certain former CEO who'd be pretty happy with that, don't you? Enjoy your Saturday. Pinball out.